Good morning, pregame crew. How are y'all? It is Wednesday, April 12th, 2023. It is CPI day. We have CPI in 8 minutes. You're at the pregame show. This is a show where I go over indices, commodities, crypto, movers, and shakers of the day. I'll officially get started in 8 minutes. Between now and then, I'm going to say hello to my friends, do a few chart requests, and do an audio visual check. Please. Perfect. Thank you, Night Truck. All right. Good morning, Shake and Back. And if I sound like I'm whispering, we have a house guest who's right outside my door. I'm trying to be a good hostess and not scream. My husband has to deal with me yelling every morning. Hey, Nugget. Hey, Renaissance. Andre. Ed. Hey, Bob. Homebody. Bonjour, Roger. Hi, Ed. Topher. Hey, RJ. Casey. And I'm going to answer your question. I just went down a quick rabbit hole when I saw your question. I just even lost track of time. I wanted to answer it so thoroughly. So I'm going to go ahead and apologize now for probably a lengthy show. And normally it's 25 charts in 25 minutes, and I'll still try to make that possible. I will be efficient and hopefully effective. And if I am, give me a like. Hit that like button. Hey, Carlos, Tess, Mary, Mal, 528. Hey, B-Hawk, Sal, Basque, Serrano. Serrano, you sent me a very thorough message last night, and I have 3 messages I need to respond to. So just give me a little bit of time. Thank you for your patience. Hey, Night Truck. Hey, Sandor. I'll look at PLTR, but I want to talk to you about why are you stuck? Hey, Audrey, Trey, Guile. Hey, Tom. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Hey, Stacks. Perfect. Hey, Robert, Tyree, Kevin. Hola. Hey, Karkuki. How are ya? Catahoula Kerman, Roberto, Ardell, Gary, Mavic, Sebro. All right. Was PLTR the first one? And I promise I don't try to nag when I talk about using stops and not getting yourself caught, having a plan before you enter. It just comes naturally. I'm a mother. It just comes naturally. So I don't mean to nag, but it's just literally from the bottom of my heart. I hate to see people get hurt in trading. And I know it happens every day. It's part of the process. But at least the people that I work with, I don't want you hurt. I want to help you. Fraser. Okay, got it. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Eeyore. Tuscaloosa. Griffin and Jungle Cat. Hello. We got a lot of y'all quickly on here this morning. Data days usually brings all the boys to the yard. Okay, so PLTR got a daily higher high yesterday. We did get a little upper wicket profit taking. 4 hour odds favor. Is it 12 hour? What's the best time frame for me to show you that? Odds favor a 12-hour lower high compared to 890. But right now, we need to have a talk and we need to say, okay, here's the plan. If price gets over X, I will stop out, and you honor that stop. And then what's so cool about trading, especially if you're in the US, is most of your trading should be commission free if you're using commons. So you can re-enter that trade. Okay, so let's say you use your stop at 868. So you say, okay, if it gets over 868, I'm outie. I'm done. I'm out of this. Then let's say it then makes a 5-minute lower high, lower low. Then you could say, ha, I'm getting back in. You can always get back in, but don't sit there and hold a loser. Don't have a plan before you enter. And also, what if it goes to, let's say $9.10, this resistance from over here, or $9.21. You could actually have a better entry higher up and possibly have better reward. So please, please, please don't back hold because you hope it's going to get in the money. That's That's your ego standing in the way. And I love that y'all ask me questions, and I promise I don't try. I try not to preach. I try not to nag or lecture. I just love you and don't want you hurt. Sandor, and I mean it. Okay. Hey, YVA, I love you. Hey, Duke. Killian. Okay, we have CPI in 3 minutes. Let's go to ES so you can get those levels. So your key level, resistance 41.51.75, then 41.28.75. And y'all know what my key level is. It's 4,100, this 409.650. And to the high side, 417.175 is the extreme. I am expecting a pretty volatile reaction. Now, what the economists are expecting is 5.2%. Year over year, meaning the consumer price index, milk, gas, and the like are 5.2% higher than they were the same time last year. So the previous number was 6%. They're expecting 5.2. If there is a 4, let me write this down. If there is a 4 in front of whatever it is, we could get a pretty bullish reaction, meaning that the inflation has gone down faster than what the economists anticipated. If it's 5.5 or higher, it could be extremely bearish. Hi, Crechu and Pagusti for over in TradingView. Hi. Oh, no, you're amazing. Hey, Curtis, I think some of y'all like it when I was soapbox and preach. All right. And if we look at the larger term timeframes on ES, we are super healthy. Everything is healthy. Incoming consolidation would be natural at this point. Absolutely natural. So we'll see if the bulls can keep up their momentum, or is Bitcoin signaling incoming weakness? Do y'all see this? Bitcoin has had a little more weakness overnight. It's down 0.7%, where ES is up 0.07, or pretty flat. ES is flat and Bitcoin is down 0.68%. So is Bitcoin signaling incoming weakness? Now, in general, I don't care about this number, CPI. I look at it just so I can report it to y'all, and I care about it personally. I don't want, eggs to go up 10% like they've been going. But it is something that we have to look at. But typically, I'm going to just focus on price action. Okay, let's go look at ES, and let's look at what the number is. Okay, we're getting a bullish reaction initially. Let's see if investing.com has populated. Not yet. 5%. So it's a little less than what they were expecting, 5%. All right, so bullish reaction initially. This means this is what the market is perceiving. The Fed interventions on interest rate are working. That's what their perception is. Now, I'm not saying that their perception is right, but that's what CPI is essentially telling them right now is, hey, some of your efforts have been working. Things are costing a little less. Okay, we did not get through that 417. Let me go back out. 417175. We did not get through that number initially. Yeah, everything will be pumping as long as the market is pumping up. And the first reaction is not always the real reaction. We could get a strong reversal off this 417175. Okay, so just be careful here. Bears. Aggressive bears are stepping in here to short against 417175. And I have just taken a quick micro short on this. And I will stop out above 4172 in that area. I just put my stop there. Okay. And I'll be out 40, 50 bucks if I'm wrong. All right. All right, so ES, we got a bullish reaction initially. Now, what the bulls have done is they've made plenty of room for a 5-minute higher low on the next pullback. So that's also bullish. So they made plenty of room for a higher low. We have an hourly higher high, 4-hour higher high, and we do not have a daily higher high. We have to break through 41.71.75. I'm going counter trend with a high probability of getting stopped out. Why am I doing that? Because the risk to reward is so clear. If I'm right, the reward is great. And if I'm wrong, it is a mere knife. It's not a big, even a knife wound. It's just like a little cut. All right. So ES looks strong at the moment, and YM is over 34,000. Y'all see what YM did? And YM did this overnight. We were able to break to a daily higher high overnight. So Dow is strong, meaning XLF and XLV have really been carrying us, and they look great. Let me get some water. So Dow looks strong. RTY needs to get through 1827.40. 1827.40 is the level on RTY. RTY has been pretty strong. We'll see if they can get through that. Okay, I just got stopped out. I got stopped out by a quarter, so let's see if it keeps going. Bulls look strong. What was the low of the reaction on ES? The low of the reaction was 4138. That becomes the most important level of the day. As long as that day is holding, that behooves the bulls. Is that the right word? It sounds like it is. Okay, so NASDAQ, no daily bull break yet. Need to get over 1334875. And I had a lot of notes over here, and I may, if I can get back to those, I will, if I have time. Hey, stocks for all. So NASDAQ with a 4-hour bull break. Again, want to see over 13348. RTY 1827.40, and as I said, Dow is already in a major bull break, and we're not overbought yet on the daily. Interesting, VIX is popping. When we look at my table, I keep leaving out VIX. I don't check anything because it's not telling me anything. It's very, very detached from the market. So is the US 10-year, and Bitcoin had a 4-hour good look, but on the hourly didn't look great. So I left that blank. So prior to CPI, these were my calculations, and we were looking more bullish than bearish. And now that's being proven in price action itself. Okay. I just lost chat. 1 second. Good morning, Popa. Good morning. All right, it's 5 minutes after our official start, but I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself. Good morning. This is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori. If you want to give me a follow on Twitter, that would be lovely. I'm part of the Chart Guys community, and we teach technical analysis. And my goal here every morning is to get you prepared for the trading day. I get that done through looking at indices, commodities, crypto movers, and shakers of the day. I show you my table, and then I have notes off screen. So I'm going to get back to a question that N asked. Was it? N, yes. People are talking in Slack how options are making things choppy. How can I learn how to assess options that will affect how they will affect the market? So I typed up some notes for you. I typically reserve these notes for TCG members only. Hey, stocks for all. I give out the trade setups I'm watching at the end of the show, toward the end of the show. So if you're interested in my chart setup, you can click on the link below in the YouTube video description to get a PDF explanation as to what everything, all these colors on my chart, what they mean. There goes VIX. Is it delayed? Shouldn't be delayed. Okay. Hang Seng was down 0.86. Let's look at the DAX now. Did it go up? DAX is pretty flat, up 0.18. And then I had an interesting thought this morning, and this is for me as well as you. I'm not saying I'm a perfect trader, but what if every time your trade went green, you added to it versus selling it? How much different would your trading be? It'd probably look a lot different, wouldn't it? All right. And then I typed this up so I could help you kind of walk through what's important. If we're looking at the pyramid of, let's say, the 7 steps for a new trader, you start down here, step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Options would be the last thing I would worry about. If you are a newer trader and you're not consistently profitable, understanding gamma and options and how they work is not super important right now. I would lay out the steps like this. For a new trader, if you came to me and said, I'm a brand new trader, and by the way, this works for traders who aren't consistently profitable and have been trading for a while, you can still start over. I would say paper trade. That's number 1, paper trade, step 1. Step 2, use 3 indicators or less. I mean, that chart should look barren. It should look like an Egyptian desert. It should be so barren. I would follow 5 tickers or less. I would ensure at least a 1 to 2 risk to reward. So every trade setup, my risk is 1 to 2. So I'm expecting at least twice the reward that I'm risking. Of course, you need to find your system and back test. I can write down about 100 things just so you know, but I just did this quickly. I would start out with commons only. Then I'd move to micro futures once risk management is mastered. And then I would delve into the world of options. I think this order, following this order for traders would keep you out of so much trouble. So I still want to answer your question. And so this is Black Box Stocks. I subscribe to this and I look, here's the pre-market, big movers, up, big gainers, big losers, and options. And I just pulled up Tesla to show there's no gamma exposure that I can show you here in pre-market. Once the market opens, it will show gamma with a red bar. So let me show you my indicators, dark pool volume and gamma exposure. So here's where some dark pool volume came in on Tesla. We have a big block right there. Do you see how price is above it? It's acting as support. I call that synthetic support. It actually does not have a pivot there. It's just where a big block came in. Well, I see the same thing. You'll see a red. Let's pretend like this orange block is red. I see this all the time with gamma. So on SPY, QQQ, where we have a lot of options that got bought or sold, and we have a lot of gamma exposure in that area, it can also act as synthetic support or resistance. It can also act as a magnet where price is drawn to it. So remember, the market's goal is to inflict as much pain as possible on as many people as possible. So if you have a lot of options parked at 185, they don't want to close at 185. If there are a lot of calls at 185, they want to close less than that. So gamma exposure, dark pools can act as synthetic support or resistance, or an artificial magnet. So that was the best way that I could describe it. I hope that helps. And for those of you who weren't interested, I hope you got something out of it anyway. And since you're already here, could you hit that like button? I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, now let's get back to charts. Okay, we went over indices, Bitcoin. Bitcoin looks great, but Bitcoin needs to get through 30584. We had a lot of bull volume come in. Remember, this was on a reaction, on a CPI reaction. So will this be short-lived? Can we get through 30584? Or is Ethereum telegraphing something a little more bearish in the story for Bitcoin? It remains to be seen. So Ethereum is much weaker than Bitcoin. You have resistance here at 1899.12. We just hit 1898. We have a double top there. And there are 318 of you right here, right now, online on YouTube. And there are only 108 likes. If you could remember to hit that like button. I know I've already asked 3 times, but hit it and I won't have to ask. All right. So Ethereum looks weak. We did just change the hourly trend, but what's the most likely scenario on a 4-hour time frame? Lower high. That's the more likely scenario. So Bitcoin, it's not a lower high. Higher high is possible. We need to get through 30584 to prove it. And then I always have one more thing to say. I want you to look at the CPI of 5%. That is perceived as slightly bullish because it's less than what they were expecting. But let's stop and think about it. Everyone in the United States, on average, is going out to the grocery store and the gas tank, and they're spending 5% more than they did last year. That's still not good news. That's a terrible number. Absolutely terrible. So sometimes we can get a little blinded by, oh my gosh, we beat. Oh, it was better than expected. It's good news. That's not good news. That's terrible news. So I have 5 children. They all have jobs. They're young adults. And so for those of them that are not making 5% more than they were last year, they're out still having to pay 5% more for groceries. It's not a good number. It's a beat, but it's not a good number. So just keeping everything relative. Thanks, KK. My DAX is 15-minute delayed. Thanks, Andre. I subscribe to everything on TradingView, it feels like, but I never have all of the stuff. I have the over-the-counter. I have Canadian tickers. I have futures. There's always one I have. And I just got the trend indicator. It is a TCG proprietary indicator, and I am so super excited about playing with this and see if I can incorporate it into my trading, and I'll do it off hours. I don't like to play with new toys while I'm officially trying to make real money. Oh, Ben, thank you. All right, so Bitcoin needs to get through that high 30584. Ethereum is not as in good of a position, and 4-hour lower high is anticipated. Gold looks great. Nice bull volume came in on that reaction. And y'all do know I get up a few hours before this show, and I do a crap ton of prep work. Yeah, crap ton is an actual measurement. And it all gets blown to smithereens when this data comes out every darn time. And I know that. I still get prepared for you anyway. So hourly higher high on gold, 4-hour higher high. Can it get through 204,920? Let's do some measurements. We retraced to the golden pocket, 65% of that swing low from April 3rd to the swing high of April 5th. So a higher high is not guaranteed here, but it looks like the bulls have the momentum. They have plenty of room for a 5-minute higher low on the next pullback. And again, that key resistance is 204,920, or let's just say 2050. Any general statements with alts? I would say altcoins in general, ER, if Bitcoin is leading the way, usually money's going to flow into Big Mama, Bitcoin, and alts will have their day in the sun, but usually not when Bitcoin's pumping. And that's a generic general statement. It doesn't mean that applies to all coins. Let's see what they're doing. Yeah, so we just have a few green because Bitcoin's pumping. And so in general, that's the general statement I would make. Let me look at your favorite. ADA, a 4-hour lower high is the more likely scenario compared to 4134. So ADA needs Bitcoin to chill out in order for ADA to get another pump. But right now, bears are looking for 4-hour lower highs. And those are very, 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 very generic, generalizations, I should say. Okay, market's pulling back. Not a convincing bull break. It was a peak above and fell. Let me go look at something, y'all, that it's been on my mind for a bit. Nope. Okay, let's see what the bears can do with this. Again, plenty of room for a 5-minute high or low. How deep this pullback is will tell us a ton. Right now we're at the 0.382. It's a healthy pullback at the moment. If we get to 41.5650, it is no longer considered a super healthy pullback, and a lower high is possible. J Lee, it needs to get over that 30,584. 30584. It needs to get over that recent high in order to prove that this is the real deal. All right, oil. Oil got a pump on the dollar dropping. Got another weekly higher high yesterday. And it's continuing. 83.07 is your resistance. We do have inventory today at 10:30. Please don't forget that. Again, I don't have a trade for you on oil. Nat gas, I don't have a trade for you on nat gas. This is a dumpster fire. This looks like my first marriage. What a train wreck. I mean, if you're just a bystander, you just want to get popcorn and watch it. If you're in this mess, you're crying. But this is a potential diamond bearish reversal pattern on nat gas. This is ugly. Ugly. You're welcome, Duke. Okay, so nat gas, I don't like it. If you like it and you're killing it, then you are a better trader than me, and you just go, boy or girl. Okay, so Apple. What did I say about Apple? One day I'll have to get on camera and tell y'all my favorite joke in the world that nobody's asked me to do. And I'll stay on after the normal time and tell you I just had that thought. You know, Apple had this falling wedge look to me this morning, but it wasn't technical low or low, so I couldn't call it a falling wedge. It's getting over, it's not over the high of yesterday yet, 162.36. And remember, if you want to impress us, you have to get over the high of yesterday during regular trading hours. Otherwise, it doesn't mean much. It's just like that boyfriend that apologizes for cheating on you all the time. It doesn't mean anything. You got to get over yesterday's high in order to prove something. Okay, so use yesterday's high and low as your benchmark. If your name doesn't get over the high of yesterday during, I'm going to write big so you get this, regular trading hours, it doesn't mean anything. It has to happen during regular trading hours. Good morning, Kevin. Good morning. So it's got to get over yesterday's high in regular trading hours. Oh, that made me think of something else I wanted to show y'all. Okay, so that was Monday's high, okay? Do you know how we talk about gap rules? I hope you used it yesterday. I want to show you what happened. So this is yesterday's price action. And remember, this line here, let me label it so you know. Prior day high. Prior day high, okay? So that prior day high was 409.69. We started out the day, we gapped above it. We went below it ever so slightly, and look what happened. When we went into the prior day range. Do you see that lower wick? That is your signal. There's your sign. What is that, Foxworthy? There's your sign. That's your sign that bulls said, no, 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 no. We're not letting you back into yesterday's range. They bought the dip, and the rest is history. Do y'all see that? I hope this makes sense. This is so important. It tells you so much about the strength of the bulls. If you're sitting back every day, you're skeptical of the bulls and the bears. And who's going to prove it? Well, yesterday we gapped up. Okay, good job, bulls, but I'm going to wait. Can you hold prior day high? They filled the gap, bulls bought the dip, and then off to the races. This would help your trading so much. If you see this, recognize it. So then today, the prior day high is 411.18. So now we're going to watch for the same thing. We're gapping up. So can bears bring it into yesterday's range and keep it down there? Or do they buy the dip quickly and then zoom higher? It gives you so much information. I love trading way too much. I get so long-winded. Oh, Ingball. Okay, I couldn't remember. Here's your sign. Okay. My favorite comedian of all time, her Netflix special aired yesterday on Netflix, and I didn't get to watch it because we have company in town. I cannot wait to watch it. Okay, so Amazon is over yesterday's high. So as long as it can maintain yesterday's high, and it's okay if it dips back into it, comes back down to 101, but don't stay down there too long, and then that proves the bulls are in control. NVIDIA, we are not even close to yesterday's high. So then this becomes a great bear target here. I felt like I've had 3 good shows in a row, y'all. I don't know. Is it me? Or are they getting worse? I don't know. I felt the flow state. It's been fun. Okay, so NVIDIA, top fish on NVIDIA is now one of the queen of the mountain trades. Do y'all see this potential head and shoulders? We just need the high of yesterday to hold. And then we're cooking with grease. So maybe a top fish of 275.14, but the market needs to weaken or it won't work. But yesterday's high is so far away, NVIDIA becomes the top fish target. Oh, thank you, Casey. Jungle Cat, that's a great question. I'm going to have to think about that. You know, zero DTE was created a year ago. So last year we had a lot of volatility due to the zero DTE. But now that it's been around for a year, or have the MMs figured stuff out? I don't know. That's a great question. Let me think about it. I love when y'all ask me super smart questions that make me think. All right, Tesla. So Tesla is over yesterday's high. If it comes back, touches 189.19 and then zooms higher, doesn't stay in yesterday's range long, that's bullish. AI is a top fish candidate. AI and NVIDIA are my top 2 top fish candidates, meaning that's the area I look for shorts. Why? Let me tell you why. That's a potential daily bear flag. If you want to look it up in the Investopedia of what does a bear flag look like, they probably have a picture of this chart. That's an ideal bear flag. Let's go through what are the characteristics of a good bear flag? We're below the 0.382. We have upper wicks of bears selling into it. We have EMAs overhead. We have a long pole here. We got declining bull volume on the bounce. We're below 50 RSI. That is a gift lobbed up. So there's your gift. There's your gift. So top fishing, AI will be a big priority for me today. And Tesla. BA had a nice 30-minute EQ this morning. So it's still within yesterday's range, but I think you could buy a bull break or short a bear break on BA. Yeah, 0 days to expiration. Oh, Mal, you cute. So BA is super tight. We're breaking bull out of this range. So maybe you could pull back by this one if the market stays strong. KRE, I was looking for a daily lower high. I've got my alert set. No, I don't. I thought I did for a first hourly overbought. Now I'm going to do 70 this time, Kelly. So tell me when KRE gets hourly overbought. And it may be 43.72 area, could be that top fish area, looking for the daily lower high on KRE. Okay. And finally, SMH. We are over yesterday's high. That's going to take out that idea. I was looking for this also has a potential daily head and shoulders. So I was looking for a top fish on SMH, but it's over yesterday's high, so that idea is busted. So I do like NVDA and AI short. Those are my top two names. I like BA long and I like KRE short, but only if the market is pulling back. Tesla, where would I do a top fish? I'm trying to answer your question thoughtfully. 194 maybe, and wait for a 5-minute trend change to the downside. Hourly is overbought in a daily downtrend. It is over yesterday's high. That's the only fly in the ointment, but I do like a Tesla top fish setup today. But you're going to have to be very tactical, strategic. You're going to, as my sister says, you're going to have to use some strategery. Hey, Jaime, my sister's name is Jamie, and it's spelled like your name. So I'm going to answer your question. I appreciate you. Yesterday's upper wick of profit taking leaves a lot to be desired. Plenty of room for a daily high or low. If you don't have a position, I'd wait for first hourly oversold. It's had a nice move up. Maybe 15-minute oversold now. You could look for a long. But if you have a long now, I would be very careful. This is extended to the upside. Well, hourly RSI cooled off. 4-hour cooled off. It could continue. Too hard for me to tell right here. Sorry, I like to give concrete answers, but this isn't clear for me. Great move up. You could say as long as these hourly EMAs are below you, you can stay in long. Oh, all right. That's it for me. It's 7 a.m. my time. I talked the entire 38 minutes. All right. Thank y'all for being here. Hit the like button. Give me a follow on Twitter at @CharkAlLori. And I really appreciate y'all. TCGers, I'll copy these notes over to you in just a bit. Market's pulling back a little bit more here. So now the high of the day becomes the benchmark the bulls have to take out to prove staying power. Otherwise, bears have an opening right here, right now, even though it sounds counterintuitive. Use stop loss.